You know, sometimes we hear about some scenarios or something where other people got through, and we try to put ourselves in the situation and be like, boy, if I did me, I would have do this, or if I did me, I would have do that. But the truth and fact is, until you're actually in a situation, you're not going to know what you would have really do. And this brother right here, so, he might ask some advice, because he might try to figure out what he's supposed to do after finding out, say, his wife cheat on him while him did in a coma. Now, not only that, his wife cheat on him, but his wife cheat on him with somebody who him consider a friend. But when you hear how it happened, I want to tell me in the comment section what you think about this situation and what would you do. Let's take a listen to this one that was shared on Unstoppable Live. And it started off simple like this. It says, and it's an email of course. Hello Unstoppable. I am not a Jamaican. He make sure I point that out from the beginning. Him say, hello Unstoppable. I am not a Jamaican, but I have grown truly fond of your talk show. I don't comment much. I am what you would call a silent listener. I'm at a crossroads in my life, and I feel stuck, not knowing if I should go left or right or continue straight. I recently found out that my wife cheated on me with her ex. And as much as it hurts to know, I am feeling as if it is my fault why she did it. I know the decisions my wife had to make recently was a hard one, but I think she made every decision in my best interest. And how I know she cheated is because she sat me down and told me, hold on there man, hold on there, this will get more interesting by the second. And how I know she cheated is because she sat me down and told me. In January of 2018, I was involved in a very serious car accident which left me in a coma for 8 months unconscious. I was told that the doctors were even uncertain if I would ever recover without being in a vegetative state. During this time, hospital bills and medical expenses were piling high, and for some reason my insurance company refused to cover the cost due to some technicality. Insurance company fee. Despite I had paid them religiously every month. My wife was left with that burden and also the burden of everyday life expenses that I used to cover, the mortgage and etc. Her ex was always a friend of my wife and I. We even invited him to our wedding when we got married because he seemed to be such a cool guy and always respected the fact that my wife had moved on without him. He and I became good friends to the point where we even went fishing together at times. I never felt any reason to feel insecure where my wife and he is concerned. However, he and I had a very uncomfortable conversation once where he said something I found truly offensive. When he said, and I quote, "You know, you are the first white man my ex ever been with, right? And she says black man things bigger. He is Jamaican, might I add." I really didn't understand what he meant until I mentioned it to my wife and she explained to me. But because he never made any advances to my wife since we got married, I didn't make a big deal of it. Now back to the cheating. My wife explained that she felt overwhelmed with the expenses and had no idea what her next move was going to be. She explained that she contacted her ex for some advice and he offered to cover the expenses in full, even the mortgage. My wife said she told him she could never be able to pay him back that kind of money, but he insisted that she wouldn't have to pay him back because he considered me to be like a brother. She explained that the conversation continued and he eventually said the gesture comes with requirements. However, He proceeded to tell her that she would have to allow him to sample the goods again, and I quote, because he knows white man body can't handle her. Yo, that brother you bright though. Seriously speaking, that brother you bright. Me I talk about the ex. Now, let me continue the email first before me talk. He said she got extremely upset and told him she doesn't want his money and he should never contact her again. Some time passed and things got worse, as she explained. The bank threatened to put a lien on our home, and the hospital bills got higher for each day I laid in that bed. She said she called him and told him it could only happen once and I could never find out about it. He agreed. My wife got the money, the bills were paid, and I don't think I should have to tell you that they had sex, because that was the agreement. She explained it only happened once, and it was the same day she got the check from him when she went to his house. I woke up from my coma, did therapy, and on the day I was released from the hospital, he showed up to show his support. He stood in my hospital room and even hugged me like a genuine friend would. Then a few weeks later, my wife confessed out of guilt. A part of me feels like I want to blame someone for this happening. Should I blame her? Should I blame him? Or do I blame myself? I do still love my wife, and I do take into consideration the fact that she did not have to tell me. And I would have never known because he certainly wouldn't have told me. What should I do? Thank you for putting this out there for me, and please continue to help people in your special way. God bless. Now, Unstoppable family, only a year ago, I was unable to read the comments while I was reading the email, but only a year ago. Now, I personally feel like the ex there, outer line, outer order, bright, passing place on every level. What do you think? I feel like the ex, outer order, outer line, and passing place on every level. Because, now, bear in mind, the husband in the email explains that them even invite the brother at them wedding. Because the man say, yo, him cool and him not make no advances towards my wife, so everything good. Me not feel no way about the fact that him and my wife are friend. And it seemed like him accept that she move on. And as soon as the man meeting a little accident, you take advantage of the man's wife. As Tapas said, that's disrespectful. But the boy Tapas that past disrespectful. That past disrespectful. Him utilize the opportunity there where the wife was vulnerable. At this point, I feel like the wife herself should have hate him. I feel like the wife herself should have hate him at this point, because him not do it genuinely. Him do it just forget what him want. Him not do it genuinely, and then him have the heart for God the man hospital room. Constantine says, good wife, she did what had to fool's fire stick easy for catch. Oh, well, the thing about it, Constantine, the thing is, I respect the wife for confessing to the husband, right? I do give her credit for that. You know. Now the question is, should we even blame the wife any at all for this? The man say he's stuck at a crossroads right now. He doesn't know if he should blame his wife, blame the friend, which is the ex, or blame himself. Right? But I'm saying, I feel like she deserves the credit for at least telling him, because me no feel like if she never really love her husband, me no feel like she would ever tell him. So obviously the guilt was eating her up so bad that she had to tell him. Kathy Bennett says, I blame the wife. Sunny on Facebook says the ex is to be blamed. You know, I feel like the wife, I respect her for coming clean. You understand? And want to think about the fact that she did it only to cover the bills. Now remember, you know, when you're back against the wall and you have no other way to turn, sometimes you have to do what it takes. So that is why, and that is why I understand the husband's dilemma right now too. That is why I understand his situation, his position right now as well, because him know why him wife do it. Millicent said she gave it up. She is to be blamed. Boy, we are get whole heap of mixed emotions over here in the comments. Some people have said the wife alright, some people have said the wife is to be blamed. You know, alright, see the Pink Rosa said she didn't have a choice. You know, I'm trying to see it from the I've looked at it from the husband point of view. We know why the husband wants to know who is to be blamed. Jen, thank you so much for that super chat. You are appreciated. We understand why the husband wants to know who is to be blamed, because he's conflicted right now. He is stuck at a crossroads. Him don't know who to blame. Should he blame himself because he must say, boy, what happened to him? In fact, you know what, take him out of the equation, because I don't see why him should have blamed himself, because accidents happen. He meet in an accident, and that was that. You know, him know say he was the one who was responsible for the bills and all of that, and the bills were stacking up. The wife did what she had to do. Boy, Reed Jamaican says she was wrong. All right, we have the first caller of the night. Caller, good night. Talk to me.
Good night, Dr. Mayor. Good night, everybody. I was saying in the chat that she has no choice, and that shouldn't be a real excuse, and there should be no blame game at this point, because we all heard this story and what was transpiring with the fact that she probably would have lost the house, with the fact that he was in a coma at the time and she was brave enough to told him. So the only thing I could say to him is get rid of the friend and keep the wife, because a friend should be a friend in need and not a friend for benefit. If he wanted to help, he could have at least helped her out financially, and then have the husband help repay him back at some point in time, you know, when he gets back out, or at least have her giving him set up a plan, or write a statement to say that she will pay him back at a certain time, little by little, instead of, you know, trying to take what is not his from her just because he's helping. So I would say get rid of the friend, and, you know, keep the wife in the fact that she was honest enough to tell him the truth. And like I said, it's no excuse for that, but there should not be a blame game at the situation and in the present when it comes to the situation at that hand. If it was another case, then I could have understand. I read a story recently where this lady, it was similar like that, where her husband is a taxi driver and he was down on the low, and the taxi that he was running, the car was broken down. Every single minute the car is broken down. So it's like they didn't have money to feed, and she went to the mechanic, because every time he took the car to the mechanic keep charging him, and the cars keep breaking down. So she in return went to the mechanic and asked the mechanic to help him out so that they could heat some food and he could come in with some food on the table. And the mechanic asked her for the same very thing, and she didn't want to do it, but she obliged just for her husband to go out and run the taxi so they could have a night dinner on the table, because she said she was very hungry. The kids haven't eaten in 3 days because the car couldn't work for a week. So she had to do what she had to do. So there are times where our back is against the wall as females, and some things are not excused, especially when we don't have a family member to help us, and we have to do certain things as females. But in my opinion, I would keep the wife and get rid of the friend. That's my thing.
All right, Mia, thank you so much for calling in and giving your input. It's appreciated. All right.
You're welcome. All right, bye.
Tamia says the blame game shouldn't be played in this scenario because we all heard what the story is. But let's take a look at the wicked boy. We are the ex. We are the devil in disguise. Because that me I go call him. Real talk. Him is a serpent. Me don't know who else agree with me. Oral Blake, big up yourself, my brother. Thanks to the super chat. It's appreciated every time. Saying him is a serpent. A wolf in a sheep clothing. I'm going to tell you why I say so. I'm going to tell you why I say him a wolf in a sheep clothing. When the man good, him pretend like him no want to touch the man things, which is the husband me attack. Him pretend like him no they are try to lurks and try to weasel him way back into the man property. Because I know if him want no more, you know, the woman don't move on and get married. See? But this is why I say him is a serpent now. Yeah, man, see the people them are sending in the snake, the serpent emoji. You mean him a serpent? Now this is why me say him a serpent. Read, what you mean me can't say that? No, man, definitely, man, him is a serpent. Listen why me tell you why I read. He is a serpent because a long time him a try throw him line sneakingly. And him did a throw insult at the husband. See? Him did that throw a little shady insults at the husband too. When you hear the husband say, you know, they even used to go fishing. I saw the man did rate him, the husband did rate him. Seeing? Them used to even go fishing, and while out one day them have a conversation where him a go tell the man say, why did say? Say if him know say him a the first white man him ex ever there with. And she know say white man body small. Like come on now. A shade that him throw at the man, you know, in a sneaking way. Seeing? So it's a snake under the grass. Seeing? It's a snake. So, honestly, I personally feel like if anybody get blamed in this scenario, like Dr. Mia say, cut off the ex because him no mean none of them no good. Him no mean the woman no good. And him no mean the woman no good, which is the wife, and him no mean the husband no good, which is who him consider a friend. Seeing? So it's a real serpent. You understand? Him no mean none of them no good. Because here why me say him no mean none of them no good right now. That little plot where him cook up could have caused the people their marriage. Oh, my son, unstoppable family. That little plot where him cook up could have caused the people their marriage. Because what if the husband now should decide, say, boy, you know what? I can't trust my wife no more. I cannot trust this woman no more because she did. And I'm not saying that that is what you have to do in a general. I'm not saying that that is what you should do. But I'm just saying, what if it's a scenario where the man said, boy, you know what? I can't trust that woman here no more because she got to her next man for me. That will cause the people their marriage. And him know exactly why him did that do. Seeing? Kali says, why keep the ex around? Remember, you know, some people, after them break up, they remain friends. You know, I know everybody, you know, break up and turn enemy. Right? Some people, after they break up, they remain friends. Them still cool. Them have that kind of relationship there where them can be friends. You understand? Fly Girl says, for real unstoppable, a long time him want to sleep with the man wife. Achoo! All dirty boy, man. I mean, I care if a somebody will watch this show you took, I mean, I know him because the husband say him a Jamaican. But real talk, if you watch this, you all dirty man, my youth. Real talk. Then I say, me nor my mate, she couldn't come at my wedding. Boy, I tell you. Call her good night, blessings.
Yeah, unstoppable. What I go on?
Me there you know, brother. What you say? Are you say the ex nothing get wrong?
Boy, you what I go on? I have pretty three of them still. You know.
Talk to me. Why?
Yeah, you hear me? I have pretty three of them. Alright. Seeing as you say, it's a white man, seeing? Suppose the two of them are use the white man and something go happen. You understand? And you then go find out. You have to pray for that point there too.
What you mean? Suppose the two of them are use the white man? Me not understand.
Alright, what you say?
You never hear from the beginning.
No, you say him crash, right?
Yeah, it means. Alright, let me read it for you and everybody who just a forward. Come and see some people that say them never hear the story because them just a forward late. Barry Seedbag, big up. Seeing? Alright. Let me read it right again from the top so you can get the full knowledge of what go on. See me, General?
Yeah.
Alright. The man says, I am not a Jamaican, but I have grown truly fond of your talk show. I don't comment much. I am what you call a silent listener. I'm at a crossroads in my life and I feel stuck, not knowing if I should go left or go right or continue straight. I recently found out that my wife cheated on me with her ex, and as much as it hurts to know, I am feeling as if it is my fault why she did. I know the decisions my wife made recently was a hard one, but I think she made every decision in my best interest. That the husband and said that no, we know. And how I know she cheated is because she sat me down and told me. In January of 2018, I was involved in a very serious car accident which left me in a coma for 8 months unconscious. I was told that doctors were even uncertain if I would ever recover without being in a vegetative state. During this time, the hospital bills and medical expenses were piling high, and for some reason, my insurance company refused to cover the cost due to some technicality. Despite I paid them religiously every month, my wife was left with that burden and also the burden of everyday life expenses that I used to cover, the mortgage, etc. Her ex was always a friend of my wife and I. We even invited him to our wedding when we got married because he seemed to be a cool guy and always respected the fact that she had moved on without him. He and I even became good friends to the point where we would go fishing at times. I never felt any reason to feel insecure where my wife and he is concerned. However, he and I had a very uncomfortable conversation once where he said something I found truly offensive. When he said, and I quote, "You know you are the first white man my ex ever been with, right?" And she says, "Black man things bigger. He is a Jamaican, I might add." I really didn't understand what he meant until I mentioned it to my wife and she explained it to me. But because he never made any advances to my wife since we got married, I didn't make a big deal of it. Now back to the cheating. My wife explained that she felt overwhelmed with the expenses and had no idea what her next move was going to be. She explained that she contacted her ex for some advice and he offered to cover the expenses in full, even the mortgage. My wife said she told him she would never be able to pay him back that kind of money, but he insisted that she would not have to pay him back because he considers me, which is the husband, to be a brother. She explained that the conversation continued and he eventually said the gestures come with a requirement. However, he proceeded to tell her that she would have to allow him to sample the goods again, and I quote, because he knows white man body can't handle her. She said she got extremely upset and told him she doesn't want his money and he should never contact her again. Some time passed and things got worse, as she explained. The bank threatened to put a lien on our home, and the hospital bills got higher for each day I laid in that bed. She said she called him and told him it could happen only once and I could never find out about it. He agreed. My wife got the money, the bills were paid, and I don't think I should have to tell you that they had sex since that was the agreement. She explained that it only happened once and it was the same day she got the check from his home. I woke up from the coma did therapy, and on the day I was released from the hospital, he showed up. He showed up to the hospital to give support. He stood in my room and even hugged me like a genuine friend would. Then a few weeks later, my wife confessed out of guilt. A part of me feels like I want to blame someone for this happening. Should I blame her? Should I blame him? Or do I blame myself? I do still love my wife, and I do take into consideration the fact that she did not have to tell me, and I would not have ever known because he certainly wouldn't have told me. What should I do?
Me. So, we get to go on now. So I go on. Well, all me I say, him still.
Speak up a little bit, my brother. We are get a pan effect type of sound.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, me I say because that 8 month thing that's still kind of rough still, you know, for anybody still. You understand? Me think so that kind of low cut still for a man they still fair, you know, for one that in return when you know him all in life still. But it all depends on the type of person him, like the individuals then, the three of them. It depends on like the three of them. What is accepted and what is not accepted. You understand?
No, but it so really depends on that though, my brother.
Him couldn't blame nobody that me I say no answer.
What you mean it depends on what is accepted and what is not accepted? In a marriage, we know what is not accepted, my brother. And based on the email where the man send, based on the email where the man send, we understand what is not accepted. What you mean? Me not understand, my general. Explain it a little bit more, man.
Then if you not accepted for him, no, you not nobody to blame, that me I say.
So you say the ex still not forget blame?
That's why me I say she not forget blame and him not forget blame because it's just a situation will happen and then him, alright, so the ex forget blame then. That way I say. Right?
That me I say.
Alright. So when you blame the ex now, what you say about the girl? So you dash it to them now and keep yourself to yourself.
Here why me don't explain why me blame the ex, you know, because me personally feel like him did a plot up that whole thing, yeah. You understand what I say? I feel like him did a plot the whole plan there. And she fall for it. Now, we understand the reason why she fell for it. Because her back was against the wall. You understand what I say? No, I'm not saying that what she did was right, you know. Don't misunderstand me, you know. Not saying that what she did was right. But you know when you're back against the wall more time, you gotta do what you have to do.
Yeah, unstoppable. But you know what happened now? When you're back against the wall, certain way unstoppable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have much other ways where she could have do. That's us still. When we feel like she could have do this, she could have do other things apart from the even say, oh. So yeah, say she don't know family, nobody, no nothing like that.
Well, we can't speculate upon the part because we don't know why she not reach her, or even if she reach out to family, so we don't know the part.
The first opportunity she take. So suppose, you understand, you get me I say?
We don't know if her first opportunity she take. That's what me I say. We don't know if she reach out to other family members. I remember saying everybody you reach out I go willing for help you, you know, brother. Especially when enough money, you know. Think about it, you know. How much people you know right now where you can reach out to and say, boy, you know, say, you help me to cover the hospital bill. Because remember, hospital bill not cheap in a family. How much people you know right now in your personal life where would have definitely help you in a situation like that?
Get the answer too.
You see me? So
right,
maybe him not the first choice, but him the one where offer. You understand? Now me see Kitty I say boy unstoppable, she could have go find a job. Me see Stush Pumpkin I say the same thing, all of that.
And then I say, man.
Yeah, but remember now, to the persons saying she could have go find a job. You know, correct. You are 100% correct, right? However,
something different, brother. We need not even find a job.
However, listen what me I say. Listen what me I say now. On the right, you know, she could have go find a job. But remember, when the hospital bill done pile up in thousands. Remember, hospital bill not cheap. When the hospital bill done pile up in thousands of dollars.
But that's why we have these. Well, I don't know if you cut here, but that's why you see people have these institutions where they can lend you money and things, and you do what you're doing and stuff. So I just the way how you look on life in a basket. If you look on life as go one, is either do or die. You not look on 3 and 4 situation where you can go through 3 and 4 door. Like some people only look on left and right for chewing, as I say, I see same thing with him too. Right now, as him say, where if you do, go left or right or straight.
Alright, see, Sylvia said the right thing in the comment. How soon was that job going to pay all that money? Exactly, that's what I was getting at. How soon would she get a job that would cover thousands of dollars to the hospital, plus pay off the bank who was going to put a lien on the house? All of them things there. You understand? And not to mention other bills where probably they there too. We have to take a look on that.
They blame circumstances, still, you know.
Yeah, the circumstances. Right. That's why the husband has said him understand right. From the wife's standpoint. That's why the husband has said him understand from fear standpoint, you know. But him want to know if she still get some blame in the situation, or if him to blame himself. Because if you notice in the email, the man no left out himself, you know. The man include himself in the thing. So him not try to be selfish neither.
No, then that's why I say if he put himself in it, he can't blame nobody, because it's an unthoughtful event that happen and it's a circumstances or go on. It's like you can't really blame nobody, but if you have to blame a man, no, you have to blame yourself. For that, me I say, you know, you understand me? I say, you have to blame himself.
Boy, me no feel so. Me no feel so, man.
Look funny now. Answer people, you work hard in your life. Look funny, man. Oh God, see a little thing, no man. That me I say.
Yeah, but brother, we don't know whether them did save and it get run out, paying up. Remember 8 months the man in the hospital fine, brother. Remember, you know, 8 months the man in a coma fine. Remember whatever little money them have probably they don't get sucked out in a paying this, paying that, covering this, covering that. You know, brother, you know it go until you admit in the hospital.
Answer. You know, say sometimes when they admit in a hospital, because they don't pay me, they don't come out so fast. You know what I do? Just to make you know still, you know. So,
alright, my brother. Alright, make we see who else agree with you.
We can't blame nobody, but we can't blame nobody, but he does have to blame himself. So that happened to him, and the circumstances just never right, and she could have done something different and stuff.
Alright,
make we like to figure find a job, we can't pay too much.
Make we see who else agree with you. Some people are calling, so I see who else agree with you. Big up yourself, my family, see? Yeah, man. Alright, so the general say, boy, the husband can't blame nobody. If he going to blame anybody, he have to blame himself. So make we see who else agree with what the general say a while ago. Boy, me not agree still. Me not going to tell no lie. Call a good night.
Yo.
Turn down the stream in the background for me, the general. Turn down the stream in the background.
Just stop it.
Alright, talk to me. You agree with the last caller?
General, here I go. Nah, sir. Crazy man. Mad. Now, in my argument, right. Here I go. Big man thing. You'll be glad to answer your phone. Here we first thing, the ex manipulator.
That me say too.
In deceiver.
Yeah.
In do a rock. You see, all the power we are talking, see? And I don't know which part of your last caller there, but you see when there's certain places and you can't knock up your next door neighbor for some sugar, you see it has snow outside, you have certain situation or something, you're back against the wall. It's not like she wants to do it. At first you tell him, say no. And just imagine, our husband never caused the accident for himself. Everything where them work for, listen to me, we know how the thing go. $2,000 for mortgage, car payment, this, that.
Right.
Sometimes, but if you know it, sometimes people only have 2 months money save up, 3 months money save up. You're back against the wall. When you get here, say, lose your house, your car, you this and that, the hospital bill, your husband, everything frustrated, desperate situation. She make a desperate attempt to save everything and cover.
Right.
So, him now, here one, the ex. As a real man, should I say, here, me I lend this money, or me I give this money, is it me? Because me rate your husband, and me rate you. Whatever we had in the past, that's in the past.
Yeah.
Me respect you, me respect your marriage, me respect you. A real man. Me not talk about them man away because him don't sample the thing long time.
Right.
If him not did the 1 year, 2 year, whatever, him sample it all the time, so him know what he feel like. He never feel no different. At the same thing him again. You understand me? Him use mind game panar. It's just like you ever say to a girl like that's why you hear another thing and when I mean that will rape. Listen, you hear me? Can pay for your guy you in. You see me I say? Me can pay for your guy, you know what mother, me can pay for your daughter to go through school and me know say she 14 or she 15, but you know what? Me go want sample the meat. What you do? You get a youth, get today in a certain situation, you put her back against the wall and mother will say no, but then what? CXC need to pay for. This everything I draw them to the last 2 days, whatever. Mother walk on and can't get the help. This is this person's situation. She couldn't get the help. Me know say she must call she and the old lady. Nobody can help her. 8 months, if you want 8 months of mortgage, just put the mortgage at 2 grand.
Right.
That's 16 grand.
All right.
Put the car payment, put liquor this, we are talking about put the hospital bill. We are talking about probably a good 40 grand. You see me I say easily. We are talking about a good 40 grand. I saw the thing set. When you hear say everything on a collapse span you, the carpet that I pull from under your foot. You don't want to do it. So she say, yo, it's a one-time event, so she try to take shame out of CII, husband, and save herself at the expense of losing her integrity because this man don't supposed to be a brother. You see me I say, it's supposed to be a brother to them and to the family. I violate the thing. You see me I say, listen, bottom line, she not forget no blame. She make a desperate decision and she made the decision. She played the card what she have. Put it like that.
Straight.
She never mean to do it and she come out straight up and say, husband, you the day in a coma, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom. This is the situation. Me try to save the house. Me try to cover your hospital bill. The bank account, this account me. You not there as the lion in the place. The lioness there. The lioness just made the best decision where she could make husband. And that's it. And you can't kill her for that.
And the thing, brother, she never have to tell the man. That's the thing.
No, but she rate him.
See?
She rate him. You can't call it. Look at now, you know, say real thing. It's a watch land and a whole party. You know, say she can't buy rape though. Because you play with her mind in her time of distress. She can't buy rape. Her mind was not there. You see me? I say she can't buy rape. People for be careful what them are doing because you have some drastic situation. When me go say, hold on, me I give you 5 grand in a butt. You have to send her upon me. Come from the back seat. You see me I say? Wait. No, she have 14. I know she did not desperate situation. Him heart no clean, him dirty, him heart no right. Him for just say, yo, me can't give the whole 20 grand, but see a money all on this.
Yeah.
Me lend this, hopefully your husband pull through, me pray for you. Wait. Get yourself together down or Patsy or Jane, whatever she name. I say, boom. If him can't give her, when you recover, 2-3 years time, whatever, just give him back. It's me say, give him back half fight or whatever. It help if you help. You can't help and expect something from the other end. You're not be from a clean place. But your heart dirty, your mind dirty.
But
you're a rapist.
Let me ask you a question. Big man thing.
Good, yeah.
What you have to say about the little shade them where him would have did that show up on the husband every now and then, every chance him get?
Because him heart never right from the beginning there. Him never, the man look upon him as a brother. I go fishing with him and I do this and I do that, whatever. Him now look upon the man the same way. The man I look upon him with one eye and him I look upon the man out of another eye. You see me I say? Because we can, if me and you are rule, I mean, you say, you used to date my wife. You see me, whatever. Me not supposed to, if me say, me rate it and if that done, and me cool and me and she cool and that all said and done and we are big people. Me not supposed to show no shade. Is me I say? Me not supposed to show if out of respect. Me not supposed to show no shade. Is me I say? That's why we have to be careful who we allow our empress and who we are friend with, who she are friend with and all these things because sometimes some of them shade with people are true. We made them end up on that shade tree, if you understand what I mean. Is me I say? So that me have to say my boss. Him never right from the get-go. Him the one that long time before the man crash. A matter of fact, me feel like him glad said the man crash. Him that wait for the opportunity.
Him that see him as me look upon it.
Yeah, man.
Him that wait for the first opportunity fish get vulnerable. That him did that wait.
Yes, man. Him a watch on people long time.
Big up yourself, my family.
Him a watch on people long time.
Yeah, man. Bless up.
Respect and stuff.
Straight. Call a good night, talk to you live.
Good night, Unstoppable.
Good night. Speak up a little bit more for me there.
Yes, hold on a minute there. Yes. You know, I'm listening to your program again tonight.
Mhm.
You know, let me get to the point really. You know, that man, that friend, he did not get over that lady, right? That's why I believe that's why he hung around and become friend with the husband because he want the opportunity. Now he gets it. He took disadvantage of her vulnerability.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, I believe that's what happened.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Him sit down and wait for the opportunity
wait for
to
the
come
opportunity.
so him can just launch
Yes.
pan him pray.
Yeah, thank you. And
That's what I'm
he's
doing.
not a true friend to the. He's not a true friend to the husband,
Mhm.
and he want to break them up. That's why. That's what he does that. And if given the opportunity, he will do. That's why. That's why he make the comment too. The
Real.
comment that he make on the boat when they went fishing.
Mhm.
You know, that's why he make us see he's still lusting after her.
Yeah, that statement should have
And I
never
would
come
have
out of his mouth. Him should have never said
No,
that
it
to the
should
man.
never come out of his mouth. And if he's a true friend, he should never take that opportunity, no matter how much he wants to, how much she needs. If it's a true friend, that is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. He should have loaned her the money without, without wanting her body.
Real.
With not wanting to pay. Let her pay it back later on. But
Real.
no. Don't do that. That's not true.
Right.
That's not right. I would, if I was the husband, I would have forgiven my wife, and take my time and ease him off.
Boy, I wouldn't take no
Don't-
time,
don't-
Mother just tell him, cool, brother, no come back on me yard, not contact my wife, not talk to me.
You see, but you know what? That's a dangerous man. So those kind of type of people, you have to kind of ease them off, Because you see, a people first not come around you and take it, wait for you know who he is, you ease him off. Because they have some people, unstoppable.
Mm.
You have some people in this world, you can't turn from them and run because you'll get hurt because you turn your back to them.
Mm-hmm. And for
Yeah,
sure, you say I
them.
want wicked snake. When the man wake up out in coma, you go in a room and go hug him up and dead like you're happy saying wake up.
Yes, he's dangerous. So that person right there, you don't turn your back on them. You're not dealing with people like that. You ease them up and watch them. You're looking at them how you know who they are. You know just how to treat them.
Mm.
You ease him off.
Yeah,
Ease
tell
him
you.
off. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but I would ease him off.
Hmm.
Ease him off so good. Talk to him so nice. Let him go.
All right, big up
Wanna
yourself.
go fishing this week? Yeah, big up yourself. Take care.
Yeah, man. No, family, there you have it right there. What would you do? Talk to me in the comment section. More of your opinion. Because listen, boy, it's a sticky one. Yeah, it's a sticky one for me even make a decision pan. But definitely, me know I would definitely cut off the friend. You understand? Meaning our ex-boyfriend. I don't want him as a friend anymore because he violate my trust by going off of my wife while I was down and out. You see me? Someone hear from Uno. Talk to me in the comment section. Make me hear what is your take. Seeing? If you're there over there I watch upon Facebook, please hit the follow button for me now. Would appreciate that. And if you are watching on the recap channel, hit the subscribe button right now. And if you want to catch us live when we go live on Unstoppable Live over there, make sure to go over to Unstoppable Live. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Go on over, hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications. So once we go live, you will get notified and be able to participate in whatever topic we're having at the time. Seeing? Watch ya. Until the next Unstoppable recap, stay strong, stay motivated, but most of all, remain unstoppable.
Unstoppable.